When a drone photographer notices something unusual in the distance, he shares the images with the online community, eager to spark curiosity among others. However, when he receives no responses, he chooses to visit the location himself to collect more evidence to present to the world. The photos he captured to leave the entire internet in awe. "Look at them," Nathan Carey whispered, his camera focused on the distant hills. Through his zoom lens, he watched a fox chasing a wild rabbit across a patch of grass. It was an exciting chase that he rarely got to see up close. He quickly moved his drone to get a better view, eager to capture the action from above. The animals raced through the bushes, jumping over small rocks and dodging low shrubs as they headed toward the hills. Nathan skillfully guided his drone, following them as they zigzagged through the grass. The fox seemed to be getting closer to the rabbit, but just when it looked like the rabbit was trapped, it dashed into a thick area of bushes, with the fox right behind it. Nathan sighed as the animals vanished from his drone's view. Feeling frustrated but curious, he kept the drone hovering, hoping they would come out on the other side. When they didn't, he pulled the drone back and decided to check the footage later, hoping he had captured something good. Back at his makeshift camp, Nathan watched the footage on his tablet. Still excited from seeing the rare chase, he focused on the fox and rabbit running through the wild, moving in and out of the frame. But as he rewound the video, something unusual caught his attention. In the background, partly hidden by trees, was a shape that didn't seem to belong there. Nathan leaned in, squinting at the screen. The structure was small, almost camouflaged against the hillside, but unmistakably man-made. "That's strange," he muttered, zooming in for a closer look. Nestled on the hillside, it seemed to blend with the landscape as if purposely hidden. It didn't look like a ranger station or a shed. It was squat and square, with no visible windows, and its roof appeared flat. The placement was odd too, miles from any marked trail, yet in a prime sheltered spot where it could easily go unnoticed by casual hikers. Intrigued, Nathan decided to share a short clip, hoping to shock the entire world, labeling it "Caught a Fox Hunting," or so I thought. He figured the unusual structure would intrigue others as much as the animal chase had intrigued him. Yet, as he watched the comments roll in, it was clear that most people were captivated by the chase itself, not the blurry outline of a building in the background. A few viewers commented, speculating it might be an old hunting cabin or a remote outpost, but the post soon faded into his feed, drawing little attention. Despite the lukewarm response, Nathan couldn't shake the image of that structure. It lingered in his mind, piquing his curiosity more with each passing hour. Could it be a forgotten shelter? A hidden base left by explorers? The possibilities tugged at his thoughts, his imagination stirring. But as the day wore on, a different feeling grew alongside his curiosity, a faint sense of unease. Determined to uncover the mystery, he made a plan to set out for the hillside the next morning. He double-checked his gear and prepared for an early start, hoping he might find answers or at least some kind of clue about why the structure was there and who had built it. At dawn, Nathan packed his gear, his curiosity fueled by the hidden structure. The morning air was brisk as he navigated the winding trails. The terrain was steeper and rougher than he had anticipated, with dense underbrush and occasional jagged rocks jutting out along the narrow path. As he climbed, Nathan felt the weight of anticipation pressing on him. Each step brought him closer to unraveling the mystery he had stumbled upon. The hike was challenging, requiring him to grab onto branches and steady himself against rocks to keep his footing. Several times, he paused to catch his breath while checking the coordinates he had marked on his GPS. He was grateful he had recorded the exact spot from his drone footage. Without it, he would likely have lost his way among the endless green hills and thick trees. After what felt like hours, Nathan reached a ridge that overlooked the hillside where the structure was located. From this vantage point, he spotted it clearly, nestled against the earth as if hiding in plain sight. The building was unlike anything he had expected. It wasn't a small rustic cabin or an old ranger's post. It was a squat rectangular concrete structure with a metal door slightly ajar. The walls were smooth, with no windows in sight, giving it an unwelcoming, almost ominous appearance. He made his way down, carefully keeping an eye out for any signs of recent activity. When he reached the structure, he noticed faint shoe prints around the entrance, as well as scattered items, a crumpled water bottle, and an empty snack wrapper. Someone had been here recently, maybe even in the past few days. Could this be a nice resting place for hikers? Nathan wondered, but why wasn't it shown on the local maps? Standing in front of the door, he hesitated, feeling a mixture of excitement and apprehension. What if it wasn't a refuge but a private cabin? The door was rusted and slightly ajar, but it looked sturdy, almost as if designed to keep something or someone inside. Curiosity surged, and he decided he would take just a quick look inside. Steeling himself, he pushed it open, wincing as the hinges let out a sharp metallic creak that seemed to echo in the stillness. Inside, the air was stale and smelled of dust and metal. Nathan shone his flashlight around, revealing dusty shelves filled with boxes and cans. The dim light created eerie shadows, making the place feel mysterious. Each step echoed softly, heightening the tension as Nathan wondered what he had stumbled upon. He cautiously approached a row of boxes on a far shelf, each sealed with tape and marked with strange labels, some in Spanish. His curiosity grew, but he sensed this place was more than just an old storage shed. Then, his flashlight caught a glint of metal on a lower shelf. Kneeling down, he was shocked to find bundles of cash stacked neatly, each wrapped with rubber bands. Next to the cash were smaller packages wrapped in plastic, clearly hiding drugs. He realized he had discovered a hidden cartel stash, likely chosen for its remote location. Stunned, Nathan stepped back, understanding the seriousness of his find. He quickly grabbed his camera and took several photos of the cash and packages, knowing he needed to document the evidence before deciding what to do next. Then, just as he prepared to leave, he heard a sound from outside, faint but unmistakable, footsteps crunching on gravel. Panic surged through him as he froze, every nerve on high alert. Had someone come back to check the stash? He quickly turned off his flashlight, crouching behind a stack of boxes and holding his breath. Through a small gap in the wall, he saw two figures approaching the door. They paused briefly, scanning the area, and Nathan's heart pounded as he realized he was trapped. He had stumbled onto cartel property, and if they found him, the consequences would be dire. He needed to escape without being seen. As the men entered the building, Nathan frantically searched for a way out. Hearing their footsteps get closer, he spotted a side exit at the back of the cabin. He quickly opened the door, closed it silently behind him, and kept low as he moved away. He didn't stop until he was far enough from the building, his mind racing from the close call and the weight of his discovery. Back at his apartment, Nathan replayed every detail in his head: the cash, the packages, and the men who nearly caught him. As his heart rate slowed, he reviewed the photos on his camera. Torn between fear of retaliation and the desire to share what he had found, he decided to post one of the least incriminating photos online from a throwaway account to stay anonymous. It was just a shadowy shot of the interior with shelves and boxes, hinting at something unusual. He titled it, "Look at what I discovered in the middle of nowhere," and hit upload, unsure of the reaction it would receive. The post went viral within hours, with viewers flooding the comments with theories. Some thought he had stumbled upon an old smuggler's hideout, while others speculated it was an abandoned government facility. A few users, piecing together the faint stacks visible in the shadows, suggested it might be a hidden cartel stash. News outlets soon picked up the story, with headlines ranging from "Photographer's Mystery Find Sparks Frenzy Online" to "Did this drone discover a secret hideout?" Journalists reached out, eager for an interview, but Nathan declined. The attention was exhilarating, but he couldn't shake the fear that someone dangerous might be watching the reactions as closely as he was. Eventually, local authorities reached out to Nathan for more information. After some hesitation, he shared the coordinates, hoping to distance himself from the situation. Days later, he learned that the police had raided the site he discovered, confirming it was a cartel stash for cash and drugs, hidden away from civilization. His accidental find had brought it to light, and the internet buzzed with praise for the mystery photographer. Nathan felt a mix of relief and pride but chose to remain quiet as the event faded from public attention. Months later, with the media frenzy over, Nathan returned to the mountains, retracing the trails to the ridge where he had first seen the fox and rabbit. The landscape looked unchanged, calm and unaware of the chaos it had caused. He launched his drone again, gliding over the same ridge, feeling a deep connection to the mountains, as if they held secrets only the curious could uncover. As he packed up his gear, Nathan left the mountains with a newfound respect for curiosity, knowing the wild terrain was full of mysteries waiting to be discovered, and he had been lucky enough to witness one. Can you imagine stumbling upon something completely unexpected through the lens of a drone? What would you have done if you made this discovery? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.